Hi there, welcome. Thanks for joining. This is episode, I don't know what episode this is actually, but we keep on going. I'm sure it's in the title anyways. So as a quick recap, what we done last episode, what did we do? Oh yeah, we cleaned up that paddle script, so it's a bit more leaner now, a bit more succinct, is that the word? So we got that. We got the ball out zone, which is a collision shaped 2D. It's this area here, and it basically triggers a signal to let us know when the ball's out of play. So we got that. And now we got a game manager. We defined a basic game loop, and we've got some game loop code here and some game states as well. So that's what we got. The thing is, our game loop that's written in here in terms of losing life and landing a strike, it's not wired up. They're just debugs. So next, what I'm gonna try to do, we've got the logic here already. What I'm gonna try to do for this game manager is I'm gonna try to wire the lose life to that ball out zone and wire up the land strike to the paddle, make some custom signals and try to actually get it working so that when the ball falls out of play we lose a life, and when we hit the ball we gain some points and some scores. So I'm going to try to do that, and we'll see how I get along. Right, so what have I done? I pretty much done what I set out to do actually. I want to explain what I've done here. Let's add this here so I know not to go past. So I said I was going to incorporate signals. I was going to include signals or custom signals and try to figure out how to wire them up to listen for them and change stuff like the game state, the lives, incorporate my game loop. I just want to explain one thing. So we could have had something like this where we've got paddle, we've got ball out zone, and we've got game manager, right? So we could have had something like this where ball out zone dictates, figures out, okay, the ball's out now, has some sort of method and code and wired up this for that, wired up the game manager for that, and have paddle with its strike method, have some code here for that, wire game manager up to that, and try to make sure they trigger. And that would have been messy. Oh, and then wire ball out zone up to game manager and paddle up to game manager, have all these interconnecting parts. Then if I want to change something or I want to incorporate something else into that, it becomes an entire mess. So the thing about signals is, let's go down here. Let's have that again. The thing about signals, how it works, is I'd have the paddle script, and paddle is what's able to detect when the ball has been hit. So I have code already that detects the ball's been struck. So strike, right? And then within that paddle, wire up. Just have a line of code to emit the signal. So let's say that's emitting the signal. And the reason why signals are so powerful is because this just emits it. It doesn't care about wiring things up and whatever. All it does is, hey, I'm emitting this signal, and whoever cares to listen to it. So that's when we've got our game manager. We set that to listen for it, so that when the signal does emit, then game manager knows, and then I can execute my code for game manager. The same thing for ball out zone. We detect the ball's out, emit the signal. Wire up game manager to listen for that, have some code to execute whenever that signal's emitted. Boom. It's much more simpler and it's much more expandable as well. So let's say in the future I want to add sound effect. Let's say like my sound manager, and I want a sound effect every time the ball goes out the zone. So I've got the code. Okay, emit this sound, make this sound in the game once the ball goes out of play, and all you have to do is subscribe the sound part of the game to ball out zone to listen for that signal. Boom, it's done. You want a sound for it anytime the paddle strikes the ball, you just wire it up. You have your code. Okay, once this signal comes in, once I hear this signal, emit this sound. You don't have you just subscribe it, and you don't have this sort of what would before be like just a bunch of mess. So that's what I've done in the code. We've got game manager. You got your export fields for your paddle and your out zone, and within both of these, I've got emit signal, for ball lost. Where's emit signal? Emit signal for ball hit. And then here I've got once I hear the signal for ball hit, subscribe this method. Same for ball lost, subscribe this method, and I've got the methods down to lose life or gain a combo. And that's what I've done. So we got that sorted. I can show that working. Let's get my controller in. This should work. Yeah. Let's build. So with signals, it just makes things a lot more simpler, and I could just plug other things in. Keep an eye out for the output, so the output will show that it's working. So there you go, life lost. Oof. Life lost, lives are remaining. 2, combo reset to 1. So let's respawn the ball. Should start working now. Yeah, it's working. Let's let the ball go. Out of bounds. Well, this print is from somewhere else. But yeah, look, life lost, lives remaining 1, combo set to 1. So the next hit should turn the score to 1450, I believe. Yeah, so lives lost. So now, well, if I respawn a ball, which wouldn't happen in the main game, this is just debug. It doesn't allow any scores or anything to happen. It's just there for debug purposes. But that's good. That's all working. got everything wired up. I've got my custom signals sorted. So next, the plan is, if you remember originally, for the score, we had the combo multiplier, combo mult. So that's done. We got the combo mult, we had the base score, that's done. We need to do the time as well. Survival. So that needs to be done. How that's going to work is, for every second that you survive and you're still in the game, +1 to the score. So I'm going to wire that up. I need to get rid of these debug methods. Let's do that quickly. No need for them now. So that's sorted. So next, yeah, so I think in process, figure out how to do every second that goes by, increment the score by 1. So I'm gonna have to do that, and I'm gonna try to implement this, and we'll see how I get along. Right, so it's just past 6 o'clock. Is that working? Yeah. My task was to, well, my plan was to code and implement the survival time ticker. So every second you survive, you gain whatever, 10 points. It's been a long time. You probably didn't see a lot of development footage in the timeline, and I haven't managed to succeed. Basically what happened was, I was getting a lot of conflict files whilst developing. Tracked down the issue for that. Turned out to be a cloud storage issue. I had to go into my files, create a new folder, drag my whole project somewhere else, and initialize everything. It was so long. Figure that out. So move my entire project. Then I realized that I need a backup. Then I had to go into everything, set up a GitHub, set up this whole project for GitHub stuff, and learn how to do that stuff, have a branch and whatever. Then I did try to implement what I want to do, that being the survival time stuff. So I do have some values. I got over a survival points per second. We got combo multiplier, survival points. Had to instantiate all of that. And having done everything, like having done all that other stuff in terms of my project and GitHub and whatever, I was already knackered. Then I was running into an issue where, well, you've got integers and then you got floating point values, having to do maths and multiply them and whatever, trying to keep that you know, kind of keep that on track, make sure I'm not doing anything wrong, casting variables into ints and then having buffers and whatnot. Then I played my game. You could see here, I was still getting floats to a level where I just thought, well, why is the combo showing that many decimal places? Decided, now I'm gonna turn everything into integers now just to make things simple. And then now I'm running into an issue with delta, which is inherently a double. I'm already casting it into a float. Whether survival points buffer should even exist. Whether that should be a float. Anyways, because of everything, my mind is so fried. I can't make heads or tail of it all. So I know today I didn't get much done, and the main thing that I wanted to get done is the survival point. Have that accrue and get better. And I didn't actually manage to do that. But I'm gonna call it a day for now because the problem is I'm so like fried from all that settings and setting everything up and having to fix my project on its like terms of its path and folder and syncing issues and setting up GitHub. I'm so out of it. So I thought, you know what, before I touch anything, do something wrong, let me call it a day for now, mark off where I left off, and then tomorrow, once I'm fresh, I'll be able to like keep track of all the logic that's going on. So, as a recap, quick recap, this episode might be a bit short, but it happens. Sometimes you have to just do stuff that doesn't even affect the game, and your mind is fried. So, as a recap, we did do stuff, to be fair. So, I managed to get all the signaling, the custom signals done. So we got a custom signal on ball out zone to detect when the ball's gone out. We got a custom signal on paddle to detect when we strike the ball. We hooked it up in the game manager and we're accruing points and losing lives depending on which signal fires. So that's all done. That's good. That's not even debug, that's properly integrated now. And we did like half of the survival points ticker, and I've left it at when we're dealing with delta and dealing with the seconds. And for tomorrow, I'm gonna get back into it, try to figure out this whole float, doubles, integer stuff. Try to keep track of it correctly and actually write it well so that we don't have an issue like having the combos at 0.9987 and the addition, the points added being a large floating point number and the combos being this like unfathomably large floating point number. I don't think it's going to be good. So I'm going to leave it here. And then tomorrow with fresh eyes and a fresh brain, I'm going to actually get that done. But yeah, right now I'm knackered. I need to conk out. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's that.